All right, so I'm here with a update to my what I was calling my parameters of existence thought project, and I have reached what seems to be a finalization of what would be badness, as I was calling it early on. What I mean more specifically is aversion qualities and how they would be experienced and specifically consciousness. So so I'll just get right into it. I'm reading it off the screen, so I'll be commenting probably here and there, but so I'll just dive into it. So we have been desperately exploring causality through empiricism for an answer to why we can experience discord and aversion to the point of repelling off of experience itself. We have on this planet a collection of experiences to emulate the idea of reasoning toward rejecting experience altogether. We also retain a constant continuum of phenomenal linkage to just a sliver of our imaginative potential in our sensory environment, in which, and by that I mean in our sensory environment, we are destitute of ontological meat to the point of what I will prove is self deception to most people. Life on Earth emulates the idea of a perfect retention of balance, evoking a sphere of influence to generate socially, self, and structurally aware beings experiencing consciousness as life. I will state very clearly here that I lost my place. I will state very clearly here if life exists without the governance of a balance factor to make us positive above neutrality, which means positive on a negative to positive spectrum, positive above neutral, so above zero, right? A scale of negative to positive, above zero, above neutral. So, if life exists without the governance of a balance factor to make us positive above neutrality, life existing would only be catastrophic. If life existed without a balance factor, finding immortality would be almost a curse to a civilization of our capability technologically right now, for example. If life existed forever in harmony without a balance factor, we would ultimately succumb to the neutralization of aspect in qualities that we favor and qualities that favor us over time. And we would be stuck at a neutrality point that would mean being better off not existing at all due to the non existence technically being a more perfect neutral, a more perfect nullification that we're ultimately moving toward. For life of our intuitive caliber to be a beneficial quality in existence, we need to be in balance as positive above neutrality at all times, or life is in catastrophic failure. There's a very short list of criteria we need to fulfill for these things to be possible. For things to be possible, I mean. And first, our life needs infinite capacity, meaning that you will coalesce into a finality of yourself to live as. We are very young, and this is a hard topic to think about, but just know that the activity that you enjoy will likely stick around for you. This brings up talk of reincarnation as well as a possibility, and with it in mind, I would love to be able to tell everyone that anyone and everyone they know is going to stick around in a familiar way, but some people would need to go live a life as like Alexander the Great, right? For example, is like an idea to contend with. Reincarnation isn't that hard for us to see. You can see it in the same way that sleep operates. It would likely have a similar expression to that sensory deprivation. Not that anything like that would be necessary, because you could just lose your memory in the same way, right? It all moves with fluidity, right? So that's the first one. Our life needs infinite capacity. So um, there are likely greater complexities in different places than consciousness to live in. But as far as the mind is capable, I feel it necessary to mention that consciousness very much feels like it is an isolated experience. By that, I mean, if you are consciousness, then you're a part of consciousness place, right? There would be, no, I'm not trying to dissuade multiverse theory here. I'm just saying that consciousness is unitary, right? There is the overarching consciousness as a right. If you understand what I'm saying, let me just continue. There would be infinitude universes and anything like universe, but it would still be the same consciousness. This raises two potentialities. Being stuck here upon certain threshold connectivities that may exist and leaving to find the same sort of gridlock elsewhere, right? So you could potentially be so connected to this place that you have to stay in consciousness, and you can see how this place kind of requires a bit of commitment with the way our senses work. It feels like a sort of commitment, and even in the way our social interactions work, the place is sort of a commitment, like emotionally and things like that. You understand? So it's interesting. We've kind of committed to an experience. A lot of us. Not everyone here though. Earth is a very wide range of experiences. You'd be surprised the kind of people you'll meet. Consciousness seems like a place to denominate the present moment. And if you aren't completely in love with the idea of potentially living here forever, we will be able to craft our perfect nook. Yes, the place is malleable. You will literally just be able to make new things. Is the ideal place, right? Regardless of how, when, why, or where we get there, our mind can make it. I can think new colors have to exist, right? I can think that a new color exists somewhere. So if it isn't here already, it's attainable optimistically. So, second, consciousness. You need to occur simultaneously. Picture the situation like we took the red pill, sort of. There are self aware beings that just constantly ruminate. There are just socially aware beings that don't even realize that they're real. We have a pretty clear logical foundation. Due to being socially and self aware, we need to be a simultaneous existence once discordant features and aversion qualities are gone. I'll get into this. Obviously, our universe shape denies this very fact right now. This doesn't disprove the necessity of time simultaneity. If we weren't simultaneous, there wouldn't be any social imperative, and there would be no point to having social capacity. Instead of social existence, there would essentially be a last bastion of social life. If you could distort the time simultaneity of everyone, you would make the present moment transitional as something you can experience, and it would make time a tangential, revised, and copacetic version of time moment life continuum balancing. So it would just be revisional time, and it would, I can only imagine how strange that would be to have to revise time, if you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is life would have to break the present moment and bring us back together again, and that hasn't happened yet. So how do we experience the time distortion we have in our own universe? Well, through our anomalous experience with discordant features and aversion qualities, as I'll explain further down, right? I wrote this, I posted this places too. Anything can happen is the third one. We didn't even need to happen. Time could have gone sideways, if you will. We have, even through discord and aversion, an opportunity to see something so esoteric and primordial from this very place that we're in right now, let alone if we can establish linkage to a greater civilization. You follow? Things like discord, even things like neutrality, would need to be temporary for life to truly take hold. There's no breaking even here. If one person stubs their toe, the place is a failure. This place also, as far as I can tell, has to have a bliss point that we will eventually hit. If if and when we lose the factors ourselves, the balance factor of life will literally compensate us emotionally, socially, mentally, in any way that you need. The place is about intuitive design. So this brings me to my ultimate point. How are we here doing discordant features and aversion qualities after all these criteria are met, after these three criteria are met, after simultaneous occurrence, anything can happen, and our lives having infinite capacity? After these three criteria are met, how can bad things still happen? Discordant features and aversion qualities, and anything like it, must be allowed within the scope of natural existence. In order to have real freedom and balance, we must allow anything to happen in the livable spectrum existence. You would describe it here as anything must be able to happen in the present moment, right? We're used to thinking in timelines with history and calculable ends like the future. This is just the present moment that we're looking at. For the sake of the proof, though, we have it respectively in storage and calculation. The past and the future do not exist for us. We live in the present moment. We inhabit the present. If discordant features and aversion qualities were able to subsist permanently in the present moment, we would be in a constant negativity of existence. This can't be the case if balance factors were to make us exist as positive above neutrality. Discordant features and aversion qualities can, however, be experienced as we're here, right? I don't like what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like headaches. I don't like, you feel me? So, how do we do this? Discordant features and aversion qualities, and anything to stimulate this sensitivity of negative, repellent, revolting expression, suffering is another good word for it, is temporary. We experience full removal from anything negative at some point. Discordant features and aversion qualities can activate for temporary existence. How, though? It's either this catastrophic failure of life that I've outlined above, in which case it doesn't really matter how it happened. We should worry that we're just here to begin with, right? Or it happens in a balance factor maintaining the place as positive above neutrality, which in short terms is essentially heaven on wheels, guys. It's like heaven plus one. It's like the party, the cool one. So, this is how. Experiences like discordant features and aversion qualities have a low enough chance of happening to be considered more or less anomalous. We don't want them when they're happening. I can't give numeration to the values, but the very experience is to reject experience itself. So it is tried as a factor in balance. If I'm correct, discordant features and aversion qualities, as well as anything like it, should be negated within the first few moments of our inhabiting existence due to the anomalously low probability of it even occurring. Discordant features and aversion qualities did happen in a balance, is what this means. This means that it probably happened due to the low probability occurrence to maybe one or a few people out of everyone, which within moments makes our planet's population more than likely look like a grain of sand, a particle, very small. So, um, very low chance of happening. That's the crazy part, I, I think. But would you let it happen? I'll argue this. Honestly, I will. I don't care who likes it. I don't like a headache. Um, so, discordant features and aversion qualities did happen in a balance. This means that it happened to one or a few people. It didn't happen to them the way it happened to us, though. It happened to them as quickly as it possibly could. The first few, or one. Think about a whole life's worth of discordant features and aversion qualities, pain, emotional damage, experienced in a moment. Think about even bigger numbers, because this is still going on. Think about what this is what happened to induce our situation. So, who are we? We are many possibilities, many more than it's worth even thinking about. But the shortest explanation is that we're the people who balance in for the people who are randomly balanced in for the initial discordant feature stimulation. We could be friends, whatever, anything, right? So we could just be the nearest people to them that could help. I don't have this answer for you, though. And we don't have anything close to the technology to find it. So it's really not worth thinking about. So, to put it shortly, I call us the fix. We're the fix. And in basic terms, this is roughly how it worked. First, the balanced equation of aversion and stimulation goes out to the randomly selected few. Then the people they need there the most, however that is qualified by the original stimulation recipients, are balanced into an equation based on probability that is at least a binary of a minority chance to match their aversion stimulation and a majority chance to balance them from an external mode. Finally, as we obviously selected on the minority chance, we find the solution within the experience we consist in. It always would have to be the minority. We do not choose majority balance into discordant features and aversion qualities. There's no way to choose to majority balance into features like this in a balanced place. A balanced existence only holds the potential belief for these occurrences, I believe, for the sake of real freedom, instead of having a range of motion, right? Is this the worst case scenario? Yes. Yeah, we're basically in the worst case scenario right now. Period. But I think we're going to get something of the wildest potential out of our experience in Discord and aversion, is ultimately what I have to share. So, take from that what you will. It's just a discussion topic. I'm asserting nothing. I'm just saying, if you believe it's chaos theory, and I subscribe to no religion, so I'm just using my experience to try and maybe shed a simpler light on things, because I think that science is maybe overcomplicating things and relying on overcomplicated method to prove something that's maybe simpler. You hear me? So that's my thought. It's my discussion topic. Call it, uh, I'll figure out the title of the video. So I will probably have more updates in the future. This is probably as far as badness goes, unless I can explore other dimensions somehow. Alright, see you guys around.